Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Blue Green Ocean Road with your host, David R.R. Stenberg. With him on the poop deck is Captain Morgan. Still wishing summer was around. Where's my summer? This is terrible. I want my 90-degree weather. I likes the fall and all, but I miss the warm weather. You know?
Yeah.
Even if it's nice out, I still misses it.
Nice in here.
So, did you see the Northern Lights the other day?
Did you?
Yeah. Oh, they're beautiful. Even though I have a shit northern, exposure to the night sky, like this is my exposure to the north, but I could still see a lot of beautiful color above the trees that night. It was gorgeous, and it only lasted a bit, but it was still very nice. You know. How about yourself?
I looked. I didn't see it. I was up on the roof.
But really, on the roof, and you. What time were you looking? Late at night?
No.
Because I think it was mostly like around 7 o'clock, I think. And then it lasted only about 20 minutes to half an hour, and it was gone. Just faded out. You know? It weren't too bad. It was a nice treat. I was supposed to have had another one last night, but a little further north. Any reports of, like, internet or power outages because of the solar flares that it caused?
It wouldn't just do to you. If it got us, you'd know it. Because it wouldn't be just the internet. It'd be like everything. You know? Electric lights. The whole works. Yeah, that's a bad one. Like what happened... When was that? 1850 whatever?
1847.
47. Hey,
yeah.
Mike Kowat, look at this. Back from the dead.
Wow. Back from the dead, he says.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh.
How you feeling?
Good.
Good.
Pretty much there. Seriously, my throat was fucking closing up on me just sitting up.
So you said you had to. Did you say you had to sleep sitting up?
And I had sleep apnea, so my airway closing up on even in the morning, like during the day, you know.
Yeah.
So
sounded like it was pretty bad.
Gave me this. Had to go to the ER, and they gave me a steroid.
Did they explain how the steroid works? Why it makes your overall situation better?
Of course not.
Does it like fortify your system, or does it? I'm not sure what it does. I'm ignorant in this regard.
I think it takes out the inflammation.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like the flu, you know. For me, it felt like having the flu, and I haven't had the flu in years. So.
Right, that's when I got it. It was like having the flu, for sure. But yeah, it was a nasty flu for me too. You know.
So I'm immune to it now. Right? We're immune forever.
Yes. We're immune to it, or we're still susceptible to it. I think it is a backdoor to the virus that allows it to reoccur.
Yeah, I was being facetious.
Right?
Stop being facetious.
Hey, I'm not facetious at all.
People nowadays
facetious everyone's
very high above the earth.
People can't take a joke these days. You can't be facetious. Nobody's got a sense of humor anymore.
I do.
Orbiting very high, very, very high above the Earth, as usual.
Yes, it is. Well, hey, last week was harvest, so I'm higher than usual.
Oh, good. Good for you.
Yep.
Look, Mike. Mike looks good. Look at this. He's back.
I know. You look healthy, Mike. You get the color back in your cheeks, and
So I thought he was talking about you.
Yeah.
From your near-death experience up in Maine.
Yeah, it was pretty dangerous. There was nothing you could do about it. Like, once you're there, you commit. So, for those of you just joining us who don't know what happened, we were crossing Ambijijis Lake, and the wind really picked up, and we had 3-foot swells and whitecaps, and I'm in the bow, and the boat's going up, and then slams down into the trough, but the waves were coming so fast that as soon as it slammed down, the other wave wants to come over. And had we known that there was going to be whitecaps like that, we wouldn't have gone, right? Because you don't go out when it's whitecapping because you don't want to get swamped in the middle of the lake. And the crossing of Ambijijis is big, and it's a big crossing, and there's nobody out there, and there's nobody going to see you. And the guys in the other canoe, first of all, they started way ahead of us, and then they, I don't know what happened. I think that they were a little bit off the track of the waves, and the wave hit them from the front and side and spun them around, and they just had to go backwards because trying to turn back around was too dangerous. And they got blown down the lake, and they had to hide behind an island, and we met up with them a few hours later. But we made it across. You just have to dig in and just paddle your ass off into the waves. And, maybe just like George angled the boat just a little so that we could use the wind to push us across, because we wanted to go across, but the waves were coming at us. So we had to face the waves, but use the wind to ferry across the huge cove of Ambijijis Lake. It was
Bet you were praying to Jesus up there.
No, I was just paddling my ass off. Like, there's nobody going to get me out of this but me.
Jesus.
Put my back into it.
Yes,
Jesus wasn't there.
Yeah, but Jesus, you forsake me now. How can you forsake me?
Was that the closest to death you've been to?
Closest to death I've been? No. Closest to death I was into was probably in the canyon. Grand Canyon. Those rapids are fucking huge.
I've never been closer to death than right now.
That's it, man. Every minute.
Any minute, man.
Every minute's close.
I'm at the golden age, the 60s. The 60s. The deadly years. Star Trek episode. I can't make decisions on the bridge anymore because I'm old.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not too old for my bridge.
Yeah, your bridge, man. You look like you're smooth sailing. Hey, everybody's here.
Oh, yes, all right. I'll join you. With some homegrown.
Home?
Homegrown.
Hummus. Hummus ain't what it used to be. Now the podcast gets
to get high
interesting.
anymore.
Nowadays, homegrown is what you want.
It's all
Well,
home.
nowadays, since probably the late 70s, early 80s, homegrown was the shit. Before there were dispensaries, if you wanted premium weed, you had to grow it. Nowadays, you can get dispensary weed. That's
Yeah, nowadays.
Did you guys see the Northern Lights at all?
Yes. Did you?
Nah,
Yes.
I looked. I'll have to look some more. I'll just keep looking. It's going to be on for a little while.
It was an event that was over too quickly, I think.
Yeah. We caught the last half hour, and we thought, wow, that was most magical. All these reds, and it was the most magical. Then we got back because we went down between the lakes down on Pond Road, so we got more open sky. Then we got back and people were posting their pictures, and they got like these pictures 20 minutes earlier of like purples and green waves cutting across the red, and we're like, oh, now we were disappointed. A minute ago, it was the most magical thing we'd ever seen. Now we're disappointed, like, because we missed the best part of it. No, it was cool. So I whistled, because what I learned in Alaska from the Eskimo kids was you see the northern lights, if you whistle, you can bring them closer to you. But if they get too close, they'll cut your head off. So the way to make them go back is to throw dog shit at them.
Oh, well, have some handy.
And when we were up in the village one night, there was northern lights, and Dan and I were out getting high watching the northern lights, and all of a sudden we heard kids around the village start whistling.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you know what comes next.
Yeah. Run.
Yeah, we were throwing it at the Northern Lights. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we were just throwing it at the Northern
Not at you.
We were throwing at the northern lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the movie theater last night, and there were kids throwing popcorn at me during the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
What movie?
Nice.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, I would have thrown popcorn at you too.
Yeah, you
I would
deserve
have thrown it at the screen, actually, but
So how was it?
Yeah. Sorry.
Sounds
I
like
guess. Kid stuff, really. You know, it's like nothing like it's horrible, man. Come up with some new ideas or something. It's just terrible biting on old premises, old successes of old movies.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you turn around and rage at him like an old Karen?
You can't stop that.
I did. I told the dad, I went up to him and I said, you guys need to stop. I just stood there. And they just kind of sheepishly looked up at me and stuff. And so that was the end of it. It was just kids having fun. I don't know. Just
Gave him to Clint Eastwood. Yeah.
Gave him to Clint.
Gave him the old campy hunty. You boys need to stop.
Chief George voice came out.
That was all right. There was actually very few people in the theater. It's like it's on a Friday night, and like there's hardly anybody there. It's like I think, geez, the whole business is doing really poorly. They're just keeping it floating for tax reasons. So
Well, it was Friday night. People are doing stuff.
yeah, but that's a
It was
movie.
a movie I wanted to see that's there now. I can't remember. I thought there was something I was like, oh, I might go see that. And now I can't remember. I like going out to the movies. I like the movie theater experience.
What are they getting to go in there these days?
Way too much.
Yeah, it's like $9.50, $9.75, something like that.
You got the senior discount.
Yeah, I thought it was more than that now.
You got the senior discount.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah.
They didn't even ask. They just looked at you and gave it to you.
Right. Look at that old bastard.
That happened to me and my brother. We went to the one in Providence, the big screen to see something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you guys get the senior discount. And we like, you didn't even card us? Like, what the fuck?
The
That was the
discount
first
is
time.
look at this poor old bastard on a Friday night going in to see Beetlejuice. Give him the discount.
That's the pathetic discount.
I bet you he's even got chickens at home.
Yeah, well, it's weird. It's like, I was thinking, like, I had the whole fam together, and I'm like, there may be, you never know when they say, this may be the last time. You never know when it's the last time that something like that could happen. And I'm thinking, it's the last time maybe the whole fam went to the movies together,
Yeah.
Even,
There'll be mates, or there'll be someone's going to move away sometime, be living in Virginia or fucking Philadelphia, for fuck's sake. And like, that's I remember the last time Sequoia held my hand, he got too big, as a boy to hold his dad's hand. We were going to get a video game, and he just instinctively reached for my hand because he had always did that as a kid, And I was like, he's going to let go. This is going to be the last time he does it. He's going to let go. And sure enough, he let go. And I was like, that's it. There it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was sad. I'll admit it. It was sad.
It is, but it's such is life, I guess.
Yep. That's right. Sad and happy that he's growing and going.
C'est la vie.
And all that. Yes, c'est la vie. Or c'est la guerre, depending on your what you're going through.
Yep. Was that little girl I carried?
Sunrise, sunset. Yeah. I guess it's been lamented for ages. Oh well.
She left me for some runny nose fucking tattooed.
Runny nose.
Left me for an actor. She's with an actor.
No.
Like, you got to be with someone who's going to make a living. Like, what's going on here, girl?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Wow. Holy
look
shit.
At that.
I remember.
Who's that young guy molesting that young child there?
Where's your gut, man?
All right, there he is. Davide. Wow, where'd you get these pictures, Dave? Mud mud.
Where'd you get all that hair from, Dave?
Oh, look at little Sequoia.
He had his cup. He's got to go wash. Yeah, he was throwing junk on me. Yeah, we took him out. He said, let's go deep. And he says, no, let's not.
It was scary. My dad used to do that game with me. It was really scary. You say, no, you want to go in. Oh, you want to go in further? No, I want to go out. Oh, you want to go out deeper? I'm like, no, Dad.
Oh, yeah.
It's a rite of passage. Oh.
Very nice. For those young people, man. Jesus.
I don't know.
Was anybody ever that young? I don't know. Jesus.
Where did the days go, huh? I was just telling somebody about the harmonic convergence when we were up in Canada. I've got a picture of Dave with his head in the sand that you got to see. How Dave spent the harmonic convergence.
Yep. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh man, we found a really nice beach up on one of the Dead Skinny Lakes, Dave. You love it. It was big sand. Oh, fucking beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I kind of just said, I said before we found it, I said, I want a beach, right? I said, let's not stop till we find a beach. And we found a great one. That was a long stretch.
Yeah, that was nice. That was an awesome trip.
That was.
I had a great time.
No plan. That just fell from the sky, that fucking thing, man.
Yeah,
I didn't know I was doing that until I was doing it.
Yeah, I started just getting fed up. Like, I never go anywhere. I never do anything, And just, fuck it. I need to get away.
I felt your pain.
Yeah, what a great trip. I was telling.
How many years ago?
What do you say?
How many years ago was that trip?
Oh man, a long time.
What the fuck?
30s, high 30s.
Yeah, high 30s.
Whenever the harmonic convergence was.
You were in your high 30s or high 30s years?
No, we were in our 20s.
Yeah.
So like the 80s, right? 85 maybe, or
no, 87.
I don't know. Whenever the harmonic convergence, all the planets lined up, and it was this big astrological psychic woo thing. Anyways, that's what we did on the harmonic convergence. We were on a beach in Canada, stoned, out in Algonquin Park. We smuggled a big bag of green bud up in there and lasted us all week. It was great.
Yeah.
We had our own. We had the beach and then a pine grove, and then we had this area that was a little surrounded by hemlocks, and it was open. It was just such a beautiful campsite. And we'd go in there in the hemlocks because it was out of the wind, and we could get stoned in there and just lay on the beach or swim, or we went for a great hike. That was awesome. Yeah, I've been canoe tripping ever since. It's great. I'm still doing it.
17.
This trip last week was this past week was real good one too. It rained. We had some rain, but it was okay. It wasn't bad enough that we didn't travel that day. But and then we had some really nice weather. We got the great view behind from the backside of Katahdin. You turn the corner on this. We're going around this island. I'm going to hug the shore, the left shore, looking for the next campsite. Turn this corner, and there it is, like Katahdin. Blue sky. The clouds all blew away. It was like, peak foliage up there while we were there. Everything that wasn't an evergreen was in full color and hadn't lost its leaves yet. It was just gorgeous. It was
nice.
Really, and perfect temperatures, perfect for sleeping, perfect for just paddling and whatever. It was a great trip, really great. Love this time of year.
It's nice. It's a nice day today.
Yeah, it was a day like this when we saw Katahdin like that, like from the backside. When you come around the knife edge and then you're going to go do that whole saddleback, and it takes that corner. Well, the face that the knife ridge is at, when kind of on the corner, but that's that face looking out north to Canada. We're down in there. It was beautiful. It was really something.
Any fish?
Fishing season was closed. It closed October 1st. So next time we're going to go the last week of September so we can fish.
Oh.
Guy up there told me where the best fishing was, too. I met a guy on a lake that was closing up his cabin. And he's like, oh, yeah, you got to go to these ponds here. There's tons of trout, and nobody goes there.
Oh, nice.
He's got a cabin on a lake that has no road going to it, only boat access. But, yeah, so I know where to go next time. Maybe I'll go back in the spring.
Nice.
So I'm almost done with that book on Marconi, which is pretty wild.
You got a book on Marconi?
Yeah. When the start of the invention of Morse code out to sea, because before that, once you went to sea, you were on your own, man.
Did he work on Cape Cod? Was that the?
Yep. There's yeah. Cape Cod was not good to him, and then because of the weather, And he was young. He started like he was like 23, and he wasn't a physicist or anything. He was just trying stuff. Now I've done that with antennas. Like you have wire, right? And you're stringing it all over. You're trying to figure out because you don't know anything else. Like I didn't, right? So I'm trying to like all these configurations and whatnot. And I remember one time I found a good antenna by accident. I knew about the ground, and I put it on that little metal piece on the phone, right? That thing that used to stop your finger. It's like the ultimate ground. Like suddenly a crystal cell just burst to life because that's the ultimate ground. Yeah. It was pretty wild. So that's how he's rolling, and he's not very good as a businessman, but he's a pretty amazing guy though. And Tesla gets involved a little later. They needed power. They go to him for power, he saw right away. He went right to Zoom call, Mike. That he describes a Zoom call. He just takes it to the logical end. So someday people will do, and he describes a Zoom call. 1900.
Wow.
Yeah, he says television and everything. I guess he coined television that day.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, was right. I didn't know that.
That's wicked.
You meet a lot of people that are just like
140
Tesla
years ago.
nuts, right? They're always a Tesla. Yeah, right. But the more you read about it, you start going Tesla.
Oh, yeah,
Tesla.
Tesla's the wild man. That guy's great.
Yeah. The other thing this week, I'm learning Spanish. I got a new
muy
guy
bien.
working with me, and I realized in a little while he doesn't speak English that well. He speaks English, but he's Cuban and I think El Salvadorian, right? And this is how I got a clue, right? I pointed to Saturn, right? I said, "Look, Saturn," and he says, "Yes, I've been there." He said, "Maybe this like, yeah," because his English is. And then it occurred to me that a lot of stuff I was saying he didn't understand. He just plays along, you know. I've done that in Italy. I just let somebody just talk to me, and now we talked, you know. Now we're friends and everything. But I only picked up like a piece of what they said to me, you know.
Right.
So now, officially, there is nobody who speaks English. No native English speakers on my shift. All the cleaning crew, all the delivery guys, right? The Ubers, the fucking truck drivers, all that shit.
Are they all Hispanic or do they speak different languages?
Well, it's that or no Uber drivers. I had one guy that spoke Mandarin, I guess, because and he had the phone out. We're doing the phone, right?
Oh, to translate?
Yeah, that's what he had. He pulled it out. And I generally don't like using it. It's easy. Well, it's Spanish here anyway, so I'm just learning. You know, so it's actually the guy I'm working with, the new guy. Once we figured that out, now we're talking. You know, so hola, right. Yeah. If you're watching.
So,
¿Cómo estás?
Dan and I were studying Spanish on the road. We used that cassette, the Barron's course. You know, it's advertised back in National Geographic. Speak Spanish like a diplomat. Did that. We got halfway through the course, and basically all I needed was just more vocabulary. Learned how to conjugate all the verbs, and I just needed more words.
There's not much. When you learn a language, you realize just small talk is nothing, right? Weather, you know, directions, left, right. Just you can get where's the bathroom, shit like that. You know,
you can get by with like 300 words, and people won't know that you're not a speaker.
Yeah.
You can get by with like 5 hand gestures.
This one is most important.
This one. This one. This one.
This one.
This one.
My favorite.
Yeah, I'm not allowed down there anymore.
Down where?
Down.
What, the rest area?
Hispanic countries.
Chasing your wallet too many times down there. Now getting old and shit. The guy keeps kicking his wallet all over the place. What's up? What's up with that guy?
It's not so easy.
Hey, Mikey, you were pretty sick, huh?
Yeah. Well, just the COVID, you know. It felt like the flu.
Yeah, the flu's a motherfucker, too.
Now?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Feel good?
Yeah.
Now you're immune.
Takes a while for the energy to come back, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think I'm still recovering from the last time I had the flu in the 90s. I'm still a little.
If you lay around for a few days, man, especially at our age, if you lay around for a few days, man, it's work to get back into the shape you lost in only a few days.
It's my theory.
Right.
I'm gonna run with that, Mike.
Well, that's been my experience anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, me too.
It does.
Nothing
It
like
takes
rest.
longer to recover from anything the older you get.
And it doesn't take much laying around to lose fitness. It takes way less laying around to lose fitness now than it used to.
Ooh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you can feel that burn in your muscles, right?
Your first
the pots are gonna be sore
defenses.
the next day.
Your first defenses get weakened the older you get, you know. So viruses and things like that can go deeper, right? I mean, when you're young, you know, you get sick, it's intense, and then you get over it, you know. But as you get older, man, your defenses, that army of defenses that we have, you know, just gets weaker, and you know,
Less
it's able
of
to
it.
get.
Well, just
Less
don't
of it,
imagine it. Just
I
roll
know.
with it. Don't think it. Don't think you see that in you.
That's right. Dave hasn't had a cold in forever because he doesn't believe they exist.
He doesn't go anywhere.
Oh yeah, we should all be. Mikey just got over. He might still have cold. We should all be wearing masks. Fuck, I forgot.
I didn't get it from Uber.
You exposed us all to your disease.
I didn't get it from Uber though. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, you're an Uber driver. You're like a school teacher. You're exposed to everything, even like the Hong Kong flu and shit.
I got it from Joanne. She got it, and she tested. She got it, and she tested negative. She had it was a false negative, so she thought she had a cold, you know. And then she started feeling worse around day 4, and she tested again, and it was positive. So.
Oh yeah.
By that time, you were exposed.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about it because I thought it was just a cold, you know.
Right.
And
I got both shots in one arm September, just like a couple of weeks ago. They put them both in one arm so you can lay down on one side, I guess. Well, I don't have to roll up more than one sleeve. So, yeah, that would put me out. I had the flu and COVID. And one of them, I don't know, the cocktail, I guess. That put me out for a day. I had a wicked fever and shit. But then it was over.
Hey, guys, I gotta actually get going.
Oh, yeah?
No, you're leaving.
Yeah, I gotta get going. I gotta meet somebody.
All right, man. Hey, it's good seeing you, man. I'm glad you came out the other end. All right.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week.
All right, man.
Take care. Take care, bud.
Yeah, I got to go pretty soon myself.
Well, goddamn it.
Father is in the hospital.
Oh no,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What's going on?
he has it's not quite like sleepwalking, but it's like he has periods where he can't tell whether he's dreaming or awake. And he tends to walk around, and sometimes he forgets that he's awake and walking around, so he fell and hit his head and put a good bang on his head. So I think we're going to go pick him up this morning, bring him back.
My mom was just in the hospital the other day.
Wow.
Anything serious or just?
Well,
I guess that's not.
It had all those complications, and then they put a stent in, and she was in the hospital for 4 or 5 days, and then she got home, and then she had to go back in day before yesterday to have the stent removed.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Is that like a day procedure, or did they keep her overnight? Or
this last one was a day procedure, but the week before she was overnight for like 4 or 5 days.
oh wow,
Intensive care unit. Yeah, she got some infection while it happened, or because of it, or whatever. She had to stay in the intensive care unit.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, it was pretty serious.
we're old, and our folks are old too. We're lucky to still have them around, actually.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
But yeah,
So-
we all go down to the hospital and take turns seeing her and stuff, when she's in. And, if you're around, like who's around, no, mom needs to go for a doctor's appointment, and one of us will do it. It's good to have 4 people
Oh yeah.
to take care of your parents,
It's nice to have people around to take care of them too.
I can imagine what that
Yeah.
might be like.
Yeah.
Dave, it was 24/7 for you,
Yeah. There's no one to call.
It's true. My brother's going through that now, so
Yeah.
he's got 2 to take care of. He's doing heroes work over there.
Your brother always steps up when needed, boy.
Uh,
That kid, he's a good egg, that guy.
yeah. In the meantime, he's trying to resurrect the dead. Another Toyota that
Oh no.
is hopelessly rusted out. It's like the second Toyota Rav that he's working on, trying to resurrect his own now.
It's worth it.
No.
It's worth it if he succeeds.
It is. The last one wasn't a success, though. Even though it's in excellent shape now that he's worked on it, he still couldn't get the engine light off. So he had to sell it. And the guy who bought it is going to ship it overseas to a place where they don't care if the engine light's on or not, and whereas they care too much, I think, over here. And anyway, he's working on his own, and it says he'll never own another Toyota again. They rust out so badly, I guess, is what his thing is. But he taught himself how to weld, and he's trying to weld his way out of this other situation. But give him a lot of credit for that too. So he's like working 24/7.
Oh man,
I had this Datsun B210, and the undercoating was amazing. It looked like, I don't know, like the stuff you'd surf a driveway with, you know, and it was everywhere. It was put on in the factory. And like new Toyotas, actually, they have a dip. They dip the frame. This anti-corrosive stuff. That's
yeah, they've done a lot of work on that. I had a truck that was corroded completely. It was and I didn't even know that was a recall on the truck, and I junked it. And I could have gotten like a lot of money through the recall, and I only got like $200 when I junked it.
Yeah.
But the next Toyotas I owned after that have all been good. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean,
you can't
none of
go
them
by
brought
name.
out like an old Dodge Dart, you know?
Yeah. No, I know. Like a 68 Charger and a 2024 Charger are entirely different things. Right? The new ones, that's just a lump of shit. Oh, my God.
I mean, all of them were back then, especially too. I don't know if they've made too much, progress since then, but all those things
I remember
were pretty
those old
awful
cars.
back then. Every brand.
If you made it to 100,000 miles, that was a lot of miles on an old car.
Oh yeah,
those old 70s cars. Now, like you expect to get 250,000. So I think they have made progress.
Oh no, there are cars that are good. It's just like a name you can't go by. You can't go by the name. Like I said, Dodge meant something different in the 60s as it does now. You know, stuff like that's what I mean. Name.
Yeah.
Because some is just name only. It's not even.
Yeah.
You know,
that's right.
It's true. It's
Fiat
like Dodge has
Fiat,
been foreign owned for years now. They're not even an American company. They haven't been for years.
Remember that story I told you guys about the guy who was driving this S10 and he wanted to, he was giving me and Sped shit about having a Toyota and a Suzuki for buy American.
Yeah.
Turns out the Chevy was the one that was built in Japan, and the Isuzu and the Toyota were built in America.
Yeah.
Chevy.
There was a town that was going to get
the S10s built in. I'm sorry.
That's like with John Deere too, Mike.
Back in the day.
John Deere wasn't an American company when they were Japanese, and this town was going to get Mitsubishi tractors like in the Midwest, and then they went, no, we're going to get John Deere. So they made the decision, and then found out after that actually John Deere was made in Japan, and the Mitsubishis were made like in Alabama, so.
Well, that's how it goes. You can't know,
Well, you could look it up, but they were going by names,
My truck was made entirely in this country, and 60% of the parts were made in the United States, and the other 40% were made in Canada and Mexico.
Yeah, they made all over the place. Poland makes a lot of shit now.
So it's like, at least it's a North American car, and
Mexico makes a lot of shit.
Here.
A lot of equipment, a lot of cars.
Sure.
All varying in quality.
Everybody's varying in quality.
Everything's varying in quality. Mostly to the shit end.
Those little trucks,
the little ones. Yeah.
They're not legal in Rhode Island.
I know.
They're legal in Connecticut, but they're trying to outlaw them because apparently they don't go fast enough on the highway and they're a danger.
That place sucks. They don't even have bike paths yet. I mean, like when I was in Washington State, it's part of the road system. Like all roads have a bike path.
Yeah, that's nice.
And there's a way you have to behave while you're driving around them. You can't go in them and all that shit. But the bike's got to do all the fucking road stuff, red lights, all that shit. So there's that too. And it's everywhere. It's just part of the road.
Yeah, they put in bike lanes in Cambridge.
Yeah, it's on and off.
Some of the driver room. They got these pylons now that go down the road to separate the bikes from the.
Yeah, that's nice. But what, a lot of times you'll be going and then you run into a place where we don't do that here, right? So now it's like shit. You're like, what the fuck? Yeah. Where'd the sidewalk go?
Anchorage had these bike lane, these greenways, and you could take them to different parts of the city, or you could take them all the way out to the wilderness.
Yeah,
and they were paved, right? And they're bike lanes in the summertime, and in the wintertime, people cross country ski on them.
Yeah, greenways are cool. That's where all the roadkill goes too.
Sometimes walks into the city. Sometimes they get a moose or a bear in the city because they follow one of them greenways.
A moose and squirrel.
Moose and squirrel.
There's a moose and squirrel on the greenway. Those are great. That's roadkill, not getting killed, right? Because they go over roads and shit, greenways. Yeah. That's the original idea of them, was so that animals could go over the road instead, like a bridge for them, you know, so they don't have to go.
I've seen those.
Yeah, they tend to know what that is. So this is much better than that other thing that keeps, squashing us. You know? Yeah. There was we had we have an oak tree near where I work, and everybody drives over it, so it's all crushed. It's all crushed acorn, right? It's like there's all squirrels they're just laying down on they're just sitting there just eating, and they wait till the last minute to screw when a car comes. Or not, they're just they can't help themselves. The first one I saw, it looked dead. It looked like it had been hit. There was a squirrel there. It says, "Oh man, one got hit," and it was alive. It was just eating crushed.
Like, he's not here yet. He's not here yet. He's not here. Oh shit!
Yeah. Those guys are weird. Watching them go around. What a life they got. I watched one. I watched a hawk trying to get one off a tree once. He kept going around the trunk, and you kept trying to just come in and just grab him off the tree. And while it was happening, 2 hummingbirds came up, right, and started watching. I was like, yeah, that was in my yard. Those are the ones I was feeding. I seen them all the time. But that was part of it. I was just sitting there watching. It was at the oak tree in the backyard. And there was a hawk trying to, you never did get to, but I mean, they says, oh, look at this shit, right? So so the fucking hummingbirds were like watching, they were watching it too. The squirrel one. Happy ending, everybody. Don't despair.
It wasn't a happy ending for the hawk and the hawk's family of kids that were hungry.
Yeah, there's that. There's always, it's how you look at it.
Is it a happy ending?
Not a happy ending. I was thinking of, you see infrared, how we see infrared, right? But the animals that see infrared, their brains put shit together too. It ain't just that, it ain't red and black, you know what I mean? It comes up with shit too. That'd be wild to see that. What a rabbit really looks like to them in the dark. Knows it's furry. There's a lot of shit by touch and all that.
Yeah, how developed is their infrared vision?
It's all lit up. I bet it looks wild. Like what we're seeing. It
looks completely different from what we see, though. Completely different.
Yeah.
They see what exactly a rabbit needs to see to be a success. They develop their own, whatever they need to be a successful rabbit. That's what they see.
Right.
What got me on that? It was this book, Buick 8 by Stephen King. It's a car. It's from the last 2 books of the Dark Tower too. It's a Dark Tower offshoot. It's one of the cars, the low men, right? So anyway, this car shows up at this gas station in Pennsylvania, and then one of the low men get out and go into the back, and it just looked like and then he never came back. And the cops are figuring out where he went. Like maybe he fell in the river, maybe went down to take a leak, fell in the river, but they're gonna figure it out. So now they're stuck with this Buick. But it was weird Buick, right? And people, and so they impound it. And people tend to die around it and shit. It's a Stephen King car, right? So later on in the book it says they didn't think it says it's not a car. The cops went, it says we had to see something. Whatever, so we saw that. That was the description of what when they saw it. Because it was weird. Like when you got in the car, it had the bench seat, right? It had this big dashboard, but no steering wheel. There was a place for the steering wheel, right? It was even curved, like if you had a rod, but it was just flat. Like it looked like a representation of a thought of a car, but that was the fucking greatest. That's part of the. In the back was the thinny mic. It went to that world. It was like a portal, but nobody knew that. The cops just had it impounded, and they had to deal with it once in a while. It went on for decades. It was one of the things nobody knew about them but them, that they had it, and it was, in the garage. That was a pretty
See
wild.
the new Tesla taxi vans? They're like no controls at all. You just step into the thing and it takes you to your destination.
No, the Johnny Cab.
Oh, yeah, I saw. Are they the ones? Did the Norwegians buy them?
I'm not sure, but I just saw the van itself. They were demonstrating the van itself. It comes by, opens up, and there's like seating all throughout, and there's no Johnny Cab figure to interact with you. But
you have a Johnny Cab figure, man.
That takes up too much space, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Too much weight, too much space.
Pack
the technology.
Customer in there.
Yeah. Squeeze an extra customer in there.
Yeah.
I gotta go, folks. So I'll see you. See you next
take
week.
care, George.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
See you, Mike.
Take care, bud. Well, it's just you and me now.
Yeah, cool.
So I think, he's back.
He's back.
He's gone. So I think I'm going to hit the pipe again.
Yeah, hit the pipe. Yep, learning Spanish, Mike.
Sí, muy bien. Yo aprendo en español en la escuela de lenguas del audio tape.
I got, ¿Cómo es mi pronunciación? How's my pronunciation?
Okay, so think of Speedy Gonzalez and say it in Speedy Gonzalez voice.
Nos vemos la semana que viene. De nada. Lo siento.
Lo siento mucho.
Disculpe. I'm sorry. Excuse me. De nada is like, gracias, de nada. It's not.
De nada.
Yeah, de nada. Hola. Hello.
So, but you also have to learn the formal and the informal versions of their language. Like when you first meet someone, you don't say hola.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, it says buenos dias, buenas noches.
You gotta be like, hello, sir. It's nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah.
And
buenas noches, buenos dias, señor.
Yeah, but once you're friends, at some point in the conversation, when you first meet someone has to say, "Let's tratamos de tú." Let's use the common.
Familiar.
Let's use the two instead of usted is basically what it means, literally. Let's use two instead of usted, which is formal. Usted is you, formal, and two is you, like, hey, bud, how are you? So someone has to bring that up in the conversation and say, let's use the informal, which is kind of weird. We don't have that. We have formal, but we don't just acknowledge that it's time to not use it. I don't know. Weird.
Well, that's a landmark for me. I'm the one who doesn't speak the language in town. It's like being in Italy.
Yeah.
But you learn fast when that's
a lot like Italian.
Huh?
Spanish and Italian are really close. So
this is easy.
Okay,
I'm picking this up. Like a lot of it is Italian, right? Macchina e roto is the same in Italian as it is, like the car's broken. Yeah, eroto. And so there's a lot of free shit. There's a lot of shit I got already,
Yeah,
Dami,
that's great.
give me. Like Dami, give me. It's the same.
Huh.
I used that by mistake. I found out that was Spanish because I went to a girl. She had the badges, and I went Dami. And it was just because I talked to my wife in Italian. It just, So I went Dami. And it turns out that that's exactly the same thing in Spanish. So she starts, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So now
you got to work on the accent too, because that's what makes it understandable.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm talking to this one guy, Pierre. That's why I said, "How's my pronunciation?" I don't even know. I'm just started. I just became aware of it this week that the new guy speaks Spanish, and that leaves me with nobody who speaks English at night.
Yeah. So all the words that are TION or TIN, They're all the same in Italian, French, Spanish, and English.
Yeah.
So transportation, communication, those are all the same words. We all have those words.
Conjugating verbs are easier in Spanish than it is in Italian.
Is that right?
They don't fuck around with the article, which is great. It's yeah. I was like, whoa, this is great.
What would be the
Because they make
difference?
plural,
Give me
they
an
just make an S like us. It's not bad. It's not
Can
bad
you give me an example of that?
all.
Like an Italian example and then a Spanish example? You don't have to. I mean, this isn't a test.
I'm thinking.
You're going to get graded on this, Dave.
I'm trying to remember what the rule I just said.
They don't fuck with the article. I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, it's I mean, I got all baked. Now you want me? I'm trying to have it in a school book. I'm like Miss Piaz. It's like I'm just staring at you. I'm just gonna stare at you and not say anything.
Never mind, man. Not important. Not worth that much effort.
I'll come up with something next week.
Okay.
Actually, because I just started doing this. This is my second day. Like the third day. I just found out this week. Like I told the guy, I said, like, that's Saturn. He goes, yeah, I've been there. I go, what the fuck, right? So yeah, and he was saying stuff like that. Like, it is his. Is he busted my balls? What the fuck's going on? I didn't know the guy at all, And then I realized he doesn't. He doesn't. He just does, and I could do that,
So, do you have the app on your phone that will that he can talk into it and it will?
Yeah, it's Google Translate. That'll do that. It'll actually do it live. But it's just no way to do it. Nobody likes doing it. Even it's great if you need it in a clutch. It's better just to speak. It's
better than nothing, but it's not as good as speaking it.
Yeah, but you learn.
I wanted to learn how to speak Spanish, and then what happened was, we got halfway through this course. And it wasn't working for him anymore, and there was nobody else to practice with because there wasn't any Spanish speakers around.
Then you're not gonna.
For a long time, I didn't have to, and only occasionally now do I run into Spanish speakers, on job sites, like that don't speak English.
Yeah.
One time I was on a job site, and there was a guy from Brazil, and he didn't speak English, and I didn't speak Portuguese, but we both spoke a little bit of Spanish.
Oh, yes. Okay.
We both spoke a little bit of Spanish, and we were able to communicate in Spanish.
Yeah, that happens in Italy all the time.
I needed to know if he was going to be where I needed to work. He was painting, and I'm like, I got to work here, and we ended up working that out in Spanish. But yeah, I always wanted to learn. We did that with the French language too while we were driving around Eastern Canada. We were learning French. You spent a lot of hours driving.
Yeah.
Back then when we were on tour. So we had we do an hour a day of language lesson. We do a history lesson. We do a book on tape.
Yeah, I had that in my car. I had an hour drive up to Mansfield every day. I worked in Mansfield for a while. So, yeah, and I was learning Portuguese because everybody in that plant spoke Portuguese.
That's right.
Because it's a chocolate factory. And then, the second shift and third, there's a lot of sha. Right, Asha.
Yeah.
It's like I don't remember.
It's got a lot of Latin too. It's a lot like Spanish too.
It's a romantic language, but it's. I think it's hotter.
It's different.
Yeah, it was different. That was the one that was really kind of confusing.
It's different. Like French is different. French is a romantic.
Yeah, French has got a bunch of those. It's a romantic language. You recognize it, right? But they're conjugating verbs and they're doing all that fun shit. But
like Italians and Hispanics. Italians and Spanish can talk to each other, but it's not as easy to go to those other two languages.
Yeah, and Italian is more complicated than Spanish. Spanish is like the king, easy. I think I like it. I said, "Wow, this is not bad," because I've already done the heavy lifting with Italian.
Right.
When it comes to grammar and shit. Now I'm just noticing. Well, you got to do that. It's like you turn. Italians put who's doing the action and if it's singular or plural in the article, and then Spanish is just the same fucking thing. L, all that. Just yeah. The ending will tell you everything. It'll be in the ending, and it's an S for plural.
So
Which is beautiful.
Yolanda teaches Spanish, right?
Yep. Yeah, she does. Actually,
So
this is her
you-
books. That's give me a book. She gave me a book.
So now she's got to just speak to you in Spanish.
Huh?
Now she can only speak to you in Spanish.
Yeah, we're doing that. I'm throwing stuff at it. It's funny because like I'll say Spanish and people just look at you like you just fucking farted.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Because they're not sure. Was that Spanish coming out of that white guy?
Yeah.
I'll let them get over it because they'll suddenly realize they understood what I just fucking said. You know? It's just, there's a moment there. It's like some kind of like an oddity. You know what I mean? Like somebody bothering. I think all the white people they talk to are authorities. I guess I am too because I need to talk to them when they get to the gate. And I'm showing pictures. Like I took a picture of the loading dock and I started just showing them a picture of the loading dock. And just that there, you know. So they don't just wander endlessly around the site. Yeah, because that'll happen, right? They don't understand a word I said. I told them, but I usually tell people in English. And they're like, yeah, like, I understand what you're saying. Then they take off. Obviously, they didn't have a fucking word I said. They didn't understand a minute of it. And now they're wandering around, right? Yell at the camera, no, not there. So, yeah, it's becoming a problem. Well, it's not going to be a problem anymore, but that's what's happening to me lately.
You have a problem, and now you have a solution. And
yeah, learn the language. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
Derecha is right. On the right, derecha is right. You know what left is? I don't know. I never learned that because nothing's on the left. I have to derecha and something else.
Fuck. Now I'm having one of those tip of the tongue moments.
Yeah, that's the
like
other
I know
thing.
this answer.
I'm trying to do this in my 60s. Yeah,
I know this answer.
This is a bump.
It's like right on the tip of my tongue.
Everything's on the tip of my tongue.
A la derecha, a la de izquierda. A la izquierda. Derecha? I don't know. I'll look it up.
It's destra sinistra in Italian. So it's
you know what it is in French?
Huh?
Gauche.
Huh?
Left is gauche.
Left is gauche?
Yeah.
Gauche. Yeah, there's a lot of
you
French
ever heard
words
someone use
like
that word? Oh, how gauche. You know, that's
gauche. How
left.
left. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because left is bad, right? Left-handedness and whatever.
But I don't know French.
I learned enough French that when I took the family up north, we went like 5.5 hours northeast of Quebec City. And we were in places where people didn't speak English. There was no need to learn it. There was just other people like them. And I had enough French that like we could go and get gas and go in the store and buy shit and or I ordered a meal for us in a restaurant. That waiter didn't speak any English at all. So it was weird. It was like being in Quebec and not speaking the language. Like it's like coming to America because the lifestyle is just like here.
Yeah.
Except they speak French instead of English, and it made me realize like, yeah, if I went to a foreign country, I would learn the fucking language.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just look for other Americans and stay in an American conclave and never. I would learn the fucking language.
If you were just stuck with it, you end up learning it just by default. It just
happens.
Yeah. And it doesn't take long. When I was in Rome with my brother-in-law, I was surprised in a week. It took a week, and I was functioning. I asked somebody directions to a store. They told me. I went to the store. I bought a thing, and I made it back to where I started. And I'm all right. That's it.
Yeah.
I live here. That's all you need. So.
But you're not going to be having deep conversations about the meaning of life.
Oh no, it was all choppy and awful. Everybody could tell instantly. I wasn't from around there. But Italians are kind of Well, the Romans were nice. I mean, the Italians are pretty awesome that way. But people are. If you're trying to like assimilate there, if you're trying to learn it, they'll help you.
Man, everybody in Quebec really appreciated that I tried to learn French, and nobody criticized my pronunciation and pretended they didn't know what I was saying or anything like that. Like they all like really were, and one guy at the gas station really complimented Mike. He's like, "It's fucking great."
You really want to win them over? Eat something they eat that's disgusting, at least in your eyes. I did balut. I bet it. And like the Filipinos thought I was the shit. They were going to elect me mayor or something, man. Not really, but you know what I mean? See, I never saw an American do that. They were like, "Wow, you fucking." I didn't finish it, but they were. I got a fucking hero's welcome just for fucking biting that fucking thing and swallowing that pot.
Yeah,
it was. Oh yeah, that's the ultimate. I keep forgetting. Like this is extra fucked up for you to talk about.
Well, I ate muktuk up in Alaska.
Yeah, you try.
That was disgusting.
There's a couple of things. Nothing was gross except for octopus in its own broth in Naples. That was. I ate it. I was able to swallow it. Basically, if I run into something like that, I'll just woof it. Right? Everybody's happy. The American ate it. Wow, that's cool. But the Italians, of course, if you eat something too fast, you're gonna get another one. Right? So, and I was like, oh no, I don't want another one. I explained, I didn't really like it, fellas. I'm just so that's good. But I'm glad they took me out special for that. There was a big deal. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. We're going to Naples. You're gonna love this. I said, all right, cool. So this was building up to that. And then when we get there, we buy this thing off the street vendor, right? And it's a big cup and it's steaming broth, right? I put my fork in there, and the top of the head of an octopus comes to the top. It's a whole. Like one of them little octopus, so I could pick up maybe like that, I went, oh, so anyway. So yeah, I go right, I just woof it. Yeah. You know what I mean? All right, cool. Now where's a beer? Give me a fucking beer. So yeah, but the next morning, right, I could still smell it in my skin. It like I could still it wouldn't go away. And I learned the phrase, "Mi no piace polipo." That means I don't like. I want to make sure I don't get that.
No piage
in my plate. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, in Rome. The first thing I ordered was octopus. I didn't even know it. I ordered pasta and octopus, and fuck, that's what I got. And my brother-in-law took it, and he had ordered actually quattro formage, 4 cheeses, which was my mantra after that. Quattro formage, that's all I ate. I didn't even venture away from that anymore, that restaurant. So.
Well, Dave, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy. October's great. Enjoy the weather. It's going to be a beautiful day today. I got to go work at the vineyard for a little while. But anyway, till next time.
All right. Take it easy, Mike.